Hello everyone! Today, I want to talk to those of you who are struggling with the question, I want to change, but where do I start? Does this sound familiar? In our everyday lives, have you ever thought, am I okay as I am? I wish I could do things differently. Maybe work isn't going smoothly, or you're dealing with challenges in relationships. When this happens, we often think, I want to change. But then, we immediately ask ourselves, how do I actually make that change happen? Today, I'm going to share a few small steps you can take to enrich both your heart and your life. These steps are practical and simple, and we'll discuss them using real-life examples. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into it together. What do you truly want? Listening to your inner voice. First of all, let me ask you, what do you really want? If you're thinking, I don't know, don't worry, it's perfectly normal. Finding out what we truly desire isn't always easy. For instance, have you ever been at work and wondered, is this job really right for me? But when you try to pinpoint what you do want, it's often hard to figure out, right? Here's an example. My friend was always busy with work, feeling like every day was just passing her by. She kept saying, this job doesn't feel right, but I don't know what else I want to do. One day, she finally took the time to sit down and really think about what she loved doing. It turns out, she remembered how much she enjoyed drawing as a kid. From that moment, she started incorporating drawing into her life, even just for a few minutes a day during her busy schedule. And guess what? It added so much joy to her routine and even helped reduce the stress from work. So, what about you? Think back to something you used to love doing or something that sparks your interest now. It could be the key to discovering what your heart truly desires. Embrace small steps. The next thing I want to talk about is the importance of taking small steps. When we want to change, we often feel like we need to make big changes all at once, but that's not the case. For example, when people decide they want to lose weight, they often start by going to the gym every day. But how often does that actually stick long term? Not often, right? Big changes are overwhelming. Example B. A friend of mine wanted to start exercising but couldn't find the time for the gym. So he started small, deciding to take a 5-minute walk each day. At first, even 5 minutes felt like an accomplishment. Gradually, he increased the time, and now, walking has become a daily 30-minute habit that he enjoys. His health and energy have improved tremendously, all from starting small. The lesson here is that you don't need to take big, daunting steps. Find something small and manageable, and start from there. Small steps are powerful because they're easy to stick with, and over time, they lead to significant change. So, what's one small thing you can start with today? Let go of perfection. Another key point is learning to let go of perfection. Many people feel the need to be perfect when they want to change, but chasing perfection can actually make things harder and more stressful. For example, when we scroll through social media and see people living seemingly perfect lives, it's easy to feel like we're not doing enough. But the truth is, life doesn't need to be perfect. Example, C used to get anxious when seeing her friends post about career success and glamorous lifestyles online. She felt like she wasn't measuring up and needed to catch up. But one day, she decided to stop comparing herself to others. Instead, she started focusing on her own small wins, like waking up early or reading a few pages of a book. Recognizing those little victories gave her confidence, and she realized that perfection isn't necessary. What matters is doing what you can at your own pace. By focusing on her own progress, C learned to appreciate her journey without feeling pressured by what others were doing. This helped her enjoy life more and feel content with where she was. So, remember, don't compare yourself to others. Focus on your own path and celebrate the small achievements along the way. It's these steps that lead to true growth. Dealing with negative emotions. Next, let's talk about how to deal with negative emotions. Everyone experiences feelings of doubt, sadness, or anxiety at some point, It's normal to wish those feelings would just go away, but sometimes that only makes them stronger. Instead of trying to push negative emotions away, it's helpful to acknowledge and understand them. By doing this, you can learn from these emotions and use them as a tool for growth. Example, my friend D made a mistake at work, and it made him feel worthless. He tried to ignore the feeling, but the more he pushed it away, the worse he felt. Eventually, D decided to simply sit with his feelings. He acknowledged, "I'm feeling anxious and down right now." By accepting his emotions instead of fighting them, he was able to process them, and eventually, they faded. Negative emotions, while uncomfortable, can be important signals that help us understand what we need to work on. When we acknowledge them, we allow ourselves to grow from the experience. Conclusion. Today, we talked about how to make meaningful changes in your life through small steps. Change doesn't happen all at once. It's the result of steady progress and self-compassion. Whether it's figuring out what you truly want, starting with small actions, or accepting that perfection isn't necessary, the key is to approach change in a way that feels manageable and authentic to you. So, as you go forward, remember to be patient with yourself, celebrate the little victories, and allow yourself to feel and grow through the process. Change is a journey, and you're doing great just by starting. Thank you for joining me today. I hope these tips help you find clarity and joy in your own journey toward personal growth. See you next time.